vocals.
Kyle fucking Smith, lead fucking guitar.
Nasty Pat on bass.
Handsome Kris on the other guitar.
I'm just Rob the drummer.
And we are Sacred Fire!
The band, I guess it originally started as a solo project. I had all these songs written, and before I could really have a chance to do anything with them, I joined a band with Kris and Pat, and that's how I met those guys, playing thrash metal. So I had to put that to the side, and I've known those guys, Pat and Kris, for about 2 years, and it came to a point where I wanted to try and go back to those songs that I had written. I had kind of asked everybody, you know, you guys want in on this?
Why not? You know, I wasn't doing anything else musically at the time, so plus it's also right down my alley, classic heavy metal. You know, I think that's where my playing exactly is, so it fits. It's not like I'm like some prog bassist playing in a heavy metal band. I'm a heavy metal bassist playing in a heavy metal band, so it fits perfectly. You know,
This band sound is the type of stuff that, you know, I grew up on. You know, when I was a little kid, I imagined being in, not little kid, but like preteen, I kind of imagined being in a band like this, and so I was just like, sure, you know, I listened to Kyle and Pat's other band, and they were in a very similar vein to that, and I literally remember thinking, like, I'd love to be in a band like that. And then when Kyle was like, hey, I got this other stuff, and Kris was telling me, you know, I'm working with them, I was like, okay, I'm gonna jump on that.
I don't really know what I expected, like, coming into it. I was just gonna, like, try my best to, like, fit the needs, because, like, that's one advantage I have, is that, like, I can just pretty much do what people ask me to do.
Like Kris, for example, like he was a drummer, but he's always played guitar, and I was actually surprised that he wanted to play guitar. He's like, yeah, I'm glad someone asked me to play that shit, you know? I know he's a good lead player, so I'm like, well, of course, why didn't I think about that in the first place? And, you know, Rob, of course, was on board. He's like, yeah, of course I'll play that.
We just finally got a group of people that wanted to do it with us. A group of badass musicians.
I feel like these are a good group of guys, very, very talented, very, very good to work with, fun to be around, and, you know, they're patient.
It's just fun. Like, the five of us get together, we come here, we, you know, BS, we talk for a little while, and then we just play. We just play, and then when one of us messes up, we stop. Work through it. Very good chemistry.
me and Rob, the drummer, are really tight together. You know, it's kind of like Kris and Kyle have their own like dual guitar kind of like tight thing together, and then me and Rob have our own rhythm thing going together, and they complement each other great.
We have more of a super group because everybody, I've been in the studio with all these guys before, everybody is really efficient. We're just, like I say, we're a force to be reckoned with. I feel like the type of music that Sacred Wrath is going for, when it comes to classic bands, I would say Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, but then you look at the bands like Black Tide, I feel like they revitalized that classic genre with more of a modern tone. They're, you know, very good production, and you know, obviously bands like Holy Grail, they have they really utilized the two guitarists very well, and as much as I can't say there's too much of an influence. There's some influence with every band at least, but like Avenged Sevenfold, the way they use like harmonic minor and, you know, their diminished scales, it really adds a lot to it.
It's pretty much classic heavy metal, traditional, with like a modern twist because we play in drop C sharp, which not like there were none of the bands that did that back in the day. So that really sets us apart from just calling us another like 80s revival band.
When you play in any different type, it doesn't matter if you're a drop tune, you play different keys, it gives you more ideas to build upon. Like if you play in standard E all the time, you're pretty much going to be in that basic mindset. You're really not going to really have that much. You know, you want to broaden your horizon. So one of the reasons I wanted to tune down dropped on the low string was because I felt like there's a lot more chord progressions I could build upon. And when I drop down like that, my original idea was to play classic riffs on kind of drop tune setting. So when I played that, it kind of made its own thing in a way. So it kind of gives you that classic feel with that modern taste, you know.
These songs aren't really like, you know, like party songs that like a lot of like the bands that like our influences have, you know. Like they're more of like the musician listeners kind of songs, because there are a lot of solos, they're long songs, they're structured, and the lyrics actually mean something. So it's meant to be taken seriously as a listener, you know.
The length of songs has always been kind of a hot button. It's kind of like, oh, we gotta make sure we cut all this out. We don't want songs too long. But then one of the things that I like about how I can, you know, get my ideas out and do what I really feel like is necessary in, like, I can kind of compare it to like Metallica or Iron Maiden, how their songs are long, and like, I'd like to take the songs on a journey. The way I feel like every riff should be able to tell its story and really have the time to do so, and make sure you really let it speak for itself and have the time to really expand upon itself. Songs were kind of written before everyone even joined, but everyone's, like I said, everyone still adds their own flair to it, and you know, I pretty much say like play whatever the fuck you want over the bass line. Make it fun for yourself.
We allow each other to play off each other's strengths and don't really argue it if they're confident they can add something to what's already there.
So Kyle laid down the riffs, the structure. Rob added his own drum parts, you know.
Mike pretty much made up all the he writes the lyrics.
I just shriek into the mic until it sounds good, and then I write words to it.
I think Kris added a lot of the harmonies, the dual guitar.
Yeah, we figure out what we're comfortable with playing and trying to divvy it out.
I think with the writing process, I think for everybody, it's a very complicated process, and you know, it usually starts with a riff. And you kind of just build upon that, and you know, sometimes you have a song, you might have two songs, and you might want to juggle around what riffs work better for what. And I think for me, honestly, when I usually piece together the structure of certain things, I usually go with my gut instinct. If it feels right, I feel like that's the way it should be. I just kind of go with the flow, you know what I mean?
So for bass, I pretty much had like a clean slate to do whatever I wanted, you know. Add my own rhythms and different melodies where, you know, where Kyle was doing a simple riff, I would do something different and add to that. You know, and when Kris and Kyle are doing harmonies, I kind of keep it simple, you know.
Me and Kyle played so long together that I think he was actually influenced by my drumming over the past 10 years to put this music together. So most of the stuff that he put on this album was me entirely.
You know, I write lyrics in my downtime. They liked what I had to offer. I just kind of try to make sure I'm in key and come up with as catchy melodies as I can, and make it sound brutal as fuck when it needs to, and make it sound, you know, nice and fluttery when it needs to.
I used to show Kyle stuff all the time. I have hundreds of songs on my computer and stuff that I showed him like a while back. Every now and then we'll jam something in here, and he'll be like, well, what is that? And I was like, I don't know, I just made it up. So like, I'm sure we're gonna use some of it. Like, I got it all written down, I'm just waiting for the right time. I guess he's already got this stuff done, so the writing process will evolve. Especially we got two drummers in the band, so like, that just like, I mean, he plays guitar too, so like that, there's so many possibilities that it's disgusting.
think for 2017, my main goal personally is I really want to get this album done. The whole thing is pretty much written. We have 10 songs written. It's just, you know, we just gotta fine tune it, chisel it down. You know, there's still some lyrics, some vocal melodies, and but I'm anticipating a 2017 release.
And we definitely want to play a lot more shows, get our name out in the scene, not just the Tampa scene, but Orlando, Miami, Melbourne. Maybe even get up the East Coast sometime. But definitely get used to playing live, because that's what I think is most important as a band.
I want to make this my day job. I don't want to be a heavy equipment operator my whole life. I want to play music, have fun, be able to tour, make money off of it.
I've known Rob for 10 years. I've known Pat and Kris for about 3 years, and I can consider them my friends. And I think that's the most important thing when you're in a band.
I've known Kyle for a while. It's just weird, like, that he's not like incredibly like famous right now, like for just like the amount of skill that he has. Like, it's just fucking disgusting. So like, it's just weird to me. Same with Pat though. We're always eye to eye and very logical. It's so refreshing to work with Pat every single time. And like, I've known Mike for a really long time, since literally the month I moved to the States. Kind of like we come in like this value pack every single time, like buy one get one free. Like, every time like I try to do something, then like Mike's just there, like somehow just worms his way back into it. Probably know like more about him than I'm comfortable knowing, but so I think that like that helps with this band a lot, because like I don't know, we've just been working together for so long, and like we can trust each other to like be honest and be like, this is what I can do, this is what I can't do. And like, cause we've been in things that failed, a lot of things that failed together, but like we understand what to do now and who to do it with. And like it would be, I don't know, it would be selfish of me to not say that like he's like been one of my best friends like the whole time in here. Like, he's been around for a lot of shit. And I'm so glad he's here now. And I'm getting really emotional right now. But I love all these guys a lot. All I like to do is like hit round things and do that thing and play video games all day. That's all I like to do. So